Welcome, come one, come all to another edition of Real Talk. We're live again. It's a little bit different than what we're used to. This is kind of going to be the model going forward until John can kind of rejoin. And honestly, we might just be restructuring Real Talk. I'm kind of enjoying these casual streams with Tom Foe, Jack, and we have a special guest today here as well. Atlas Thugged is joining us. What's up, everybody? How we doing today, fellas?
Yo, what's
Doing
up?
good.
Let's go, dude.
Doing great, man.
So, Atlas has got to go. I kind of want to keep it short too. So we're just gonna, get right into it and talk about 28 years later. So for those of you that don't know, this is a zombie movie. It's a sequel to 28 Days Later, and I think there's another one called 28 Weeks Later. I have done the cardinal sin of not seeing those originals, but I did see 28 Years Later, and then over the weekend I saw the Bone Temple, which is the sequel to that. So, Atlas, you've seen the first one. You've not seen the second one. So, I'm going to go
Yeah.
ahead and say, what were your initial thoughts of 28 Years Later? Because I kind of wish Jack was here because he did not like it. I did like it. I know Tom likes that. So, I'm kind of curious where you stand on that movie.
Um, the first one was kind of like unique. And the fact that like I like it and I hate it for different reasons. So like you can almost split it up into two different movies. You have like the first half, which is the kid and the kid. I don't know if it's his father. I think it's the father and son being stuck on the portion of the island they were at originally, and then you have the second half, which is just the son and the mom when they go back on the island. And is my camera focus reflection in my outfit's funny. Um, the with me, I liked the first half a lot more than I liked the second half because there's a lot more scary, a lot more zombie like, actual like happenings.
Mhm.
The second half was more so like the psychological element of the mom has Alzheimer's and there's these weird things happening. And to me, it kind of loses the plot a little bit. So I like the first half of the first movie. Don't really care for the second half.
Mm.
Yeah. So, I enjoyed, to me the first movie was a coming of age story. You know what I mean? It was this young kid. It's not really about the zombies. The zombie thing is kind of a backdrop to the main plot, which is this young kid, he's growing up, he doesn't really understand the world he lives in. He doesn't understand what a doctor is. He's basically living a primitive life. So he goes on this quest despite he doesn't understand why the elders, why his father, why his grandfather is insisting on him not going to find a doctor, not going to find someone that could potentially heal his mother. It's because they understand that he can't. They know that she's got Alzheimer's or something. And even if it was a modern, even if they weren't living in hell, they wouldn't be able to fix it then. So they just discourage him. So he goes off, takes his mom into the zombie wasteland to try and find Dr. Kelson, Dr. Ian Kelson, played by Ralph Fiennes. And I enjoyed. I liked Spike. That's the kid's name. I liked the relationship with
Oh
his
yeah.
mom, and I liked how he's kind of struggling to find his way in the beginning. It was a genuinely enjoyable story, I thought, overall.
I think it was a lot better, especially because of the sequel that just came out. Because my whole thought on it was, I kind of agreed with Atlas. I liked the beginning way more. Like the first like 30, 40 minutes was awesome. And then once the alpha gets killed at like the gates and then it starts switching to the next story arc, it slows down, gets kind of boring. And obviously they're doing a lot of character development, so it's like, all right, they're setting up the next film. And depending on how that goes, that's going to, kind of impact the legacy of this movie to decide how good it really is. And I think looking back at it now, I think it is a lot better than I originally thought for the second half, because it was boring and it was a lot of stuff like I really didn't give a shit about. But the character development, the coming of age, plus like Spike, the actor for him, I think he's really good at acting. Like he did a really good job, and he's only like what, 13 for that type of role.
Yeah,
13,
typically kid actors don't really get it done, but I thought he did a good job. So We have another special guest here. Jack finally decided to join. How you doing, Jack?
What's up, guys? Glad to be on again.
Sweet. So I remember, Jack, that we're talking about the story of the first 28 years later, while Atlas is with us, and essentially we kind of liked it. I know you didn't like it very much. Do you want to go ahead and share with the class why?
Yeah, so I enjoyed the first half where it was Spike, the main character. I forget the actor's name, Alfie something, uh, and like going on this journey with his dad, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I thought that was a pretty I thought that was a pretty engaging follow up. But then it got to the second half, and then just became a very convoluted coming of age story with him and his mom. Uh, which gave us an ending I didn't think was well deserved because, like, look, go through it again, and you have Spike convincing himself that he needs to take his mother to go see this doctor, that he doesn't know for sure will save his mom, but he puts her life at risk regardless, even though he knows that she's loopy and can become unreliable in an environment where dozens of zombies are trying to kill them. And once they get there, like it's revealed, oh yeah, the doctor can't help her, so he just gives her Canadian healthcare essentially and euthanizes her. And then after realizing that his dad was right, he still decides to just go on his own because he thinks he's this big shot survivalist, despite really sucking. Like all throughout the movie, he was getting saved by someone else. Like at the start of the movie, he was getting saved by his dad. Later, he was getting saved by his mom. Then he was getting saved by the random soldier. Then he was saved by the doctor, and then he was saved by the Jimmy gang. So I really didn't understand like his rationale for not going back to his dad. But yeah, other than that, it was from a filmmaking perspective, it was fun. I suppose. Again, like I did enjoy the first half, but again, the convoluted second half kind of like lost me, especially when the mom, like she had like a mental, she had something going on with her mentally, but she still had rational like moments of clarity where she could just tell her son, hey, it doesn't matter if I go to a doctor, I have cancer or a like life-threatening illness, so it wouldn't matter, a terminal illness, and they could have just went somewhere and shack up, and then go back home, but they didn't do that. But moving on to Bone Temple,
gets vindicated.
Oh, what's up?
Does the dad ever get vindicated? Because that was the part,
No.
like in
No,
that
he gets
transition.
He gets returned to, like, he gets a baby to raise that was from a pregnant zombie, and then he's just like standing outside his facility going, no, Spike, come back, and then we don't see him again. Like I don't know if you've seen the Bone Temple yet, Atlas, but Aaron Taylor Johnson doesn't show up. It's just him, it's just Spike and Ralph Fiennes, the doctor character, who plays the doctor character, and Samson. Like they're the characters that show up again. But
Atlas, I give Atlas so much shit behind the scenes because he has like all these strange pronunciations. I've never heard someone refer to Ralph Fiennes as Ralph Fiennes until Atlas and now Jack. So who knows? Maybe
I don't even know. I didn't even know who he was until yesterday. I had to look it up.
You went to the Candace Owens School of
I was
pronunciation.
Ready to say that I have her vernacular.
Ralph Fiennes. Sometimes I forget names. I'm bad with names.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I mean,
but that was the part that was like the most disassociating. Was like it didn't make sense. His like anger towards his dad right off the back of surviving because his dad's helping him, and then you have this weird scene where his dad's like supposedly halfway cheating, and then it's like the whole thing falls apart. That to me was like it screamed feminism. Female writer.
I kind of got that too, but if you think about it from the kid's perspective, because we're doing this thing where we keep saying like, oh, why would the kid think like this? And then Josh said earlier, it's like, well, he wouldn't know a lot of this shit. He lives in a completely
Yeah.
different world. All he knows is his mom and his dad, and all he sees is his dad takes him out to go on this hunting trip. He comes back. What does his dad start doing? His dad's lying. He starts lying to everybody, and he starts saying, oh, we killed all this. We did all this. Yeah, he's a man now. And he's like, well, I didn't do that. Why are you lying? And then he's seeing his dad be abusive, not just to his mom, but to him. And he does see him cheat on her. And she is sick. And yeah, that could be like a feminist writing point, but it's like if you were in that situation as that kid, you would probably hate your dad.
And
You know?
well, because I was gonna go ahead and disagree with Atlas and Jack kind of on that point, which is I liked it because everyone's point of view makes sense when you kind of put themselves in their shoes. You know what I mean? Like the mother's father, the father-in-law, he cares about his daughter who's clearly sick, but even when Spike goes to him to ask about the doctor, he says it won't work. You know, and he like does his best to kind of baby Spike through it. You know, and that's kind of part of the point is no one treats him like a man, even though he's supposed to become one on this like hunting journey. And you know, it's like he doesn't understand the nature of his mom's sickness. He doesn't understand why his mom is like lashing out at him and then backtracking. The dad himself is frustrated because he's basically taking care of the family on his own. And he finds comfort in another woman. You know, we can kind of understand that and, you know, not fault him for that. But the son doesn't understand. You know, he doesn't really get it, which is why he basically rejects his family and tries to go and save his mom, who he genuinely cares about. But he's mistaken. He doesn't get it. And funny enough, because everyone in his life treats him like a naive kid, except his mom when she has moments of cogentness, and Dr. Kelson. Dr. Kelson understands the situation. He does his best to explain that he's like, look, there's nothing I can do. And then when Spike lashes out, he gives him some morphine so that he doesn't have to be there to see his mom die. You know, he does basically the responsible thing, although I don't agree with euthanasia, but, you know, whatever. It's a movie. We can talk about it.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm positive that one of the first scenes of his dad coming back home into the house, the mom's like screaming at him when he enters into the room.
She is snapping
so, like,
at
it
him.
sets this tone. Yeah, go ahead, Jack.
Yeah. Like this is like Atlas brings up a good point. This is something that I brought up. I didn't view them as having a loving relationship at any point. I think like Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, he just stayed. He just stayed with her to provide for her because she's sick and because she's the mother of his child, and that's it. There wasn't really any love in the relationship. It's essentially a pre-divorce couple, but the man Aaron Taylor Johnson has enough honor to just stick around out of respect. But that doesn't mean that they are romantically together anymore. And again, like as you said, Josh, like Spike is a naive kid and he doesn't realize these nuances. But my issue is that he kind of just remains a naive kid by the end. He didn't really develop. Like his dad lied to him, but so did his mom. So you would think that he would want to give his dad another chance. But no, he has this weird idea that he's some sort of big shot survivalist, like I said before, and when he isn't. And so it kind of just proves his dad's point further that he shouldn't have been told, that he should have been kept in the dark, because clearly he's not ready to go out in the world or address the world as it is.
And I wouldn't have expected that it would have like indicated the dad from the kid's perspective, but you would expect a good screenplay would have given you a bit more vindication from the dad's point of view, like just him at the island, like alone. But you don't even get any of that because, like, I'm pretty sure the last you see of him is screaming, and then he's not even in the movie anymore. So it just kind of leaves you with that loose end. Like, it's intentionally wanting you to think of him as kind of like a villain-esque figure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I was gonna say, I definitely get your point, Jack. It's something that to me is kind of minor and doesn't bother me very much. But I actually mainly want to talk about not so much the plot, but how, like, kind of the nature of this movie and its sequel. So I remember, for example, during COVID, something that changed because of COVID was they just started basically releasing movies right after the trailer. I remember, like, growing up, you see movies and then like 6 months later the movie comes, or movie trailers, and then 6 months later the movie comes out. Then COVID rolls around and they're like, okay, here's the trailer, and a month later, okay, here's the movie, And a consequence of that is I actually I'm kind of enjoying, like, having a story told over multiple movies where the movies come out a year or less, one after the other. So the first one came out in July. It's only been 7, 8 months, 6, 7 months. And I'm kind of enjoying it because the movie's like fresh in your mind. It almost feels like watching an episode of a show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of making it come out more like an actual trilogy instead of it just being like a single film.
Yes.
And with the potential of the third film, I know, Atlas, you haven't seen the second one, and I don't want to spoil stuff for you, but
Go ahead, it's fine.
if they keep doing things the way they've been doing them, the third film, it could connect the father and like a bunch of other characters in the third film, and you could get that resolution. You could get that vindication for his character. Now, will they do that? We'll have to wait and see. But I think a lot of us kind of got baited with the original trailer into thinking the movie was going to be a father-son journey with zombies. And that does sound awesome, and that's what a lot of people were expecting, but it turned out to be, son-mother journey. And a lot of people just didn't really like some of the choices, but kind of going off what Jack was talking about, where, the kid doesn't really learn much. I mean, he does learn. He learns a lot about, the world. He learns a lot about the life. He learns a lot from Dr. Kelson. And like what Josh was talking about, these are the people that actually give him respect, treat him like a man. And he doesn't get that from home. He just sees a bunch of older people that are shacking up and they don't want to leave the island. They can't explore. Like, you're a young man. You don't have the internet. You don't have anything. You're finally out on your own. You have this adventurous spirit. It's like, yeah, like, if you're not dying and if other people are saving you, why the fuck would you go back home? Just keep seeing how far you can take it.
Yeah, and that makes sense, Tom. But like, it would have made like, I would have accepted if he had given an answer like that that you just laid out. Like, he instead of just like going on wandering aimlessly, he goes back to Dr. Kelson to say because he's tired of the lies. He wants to learn the truth, the cold hard facts. He wants to become a doctor or something. And then he gets he runs into the Jimmies unexpectedly and gets captured. I think that would have been like, I would have accepted that ending rather than what we got. So I would just say that's an issue of the execution.
Well, sidebar here, isn't the actor what's his name, Aaron Taylor Johnson? Yeah. Didn't he have like some issues off screen? Like, wasn't there issues with like Craven or something, or another movie that he was playing with? I know he kind of had a soil issue with like the same thing with Jared Leto. Like, a lot of people, he lost a lot of mainstream appeal. I'm curious if that played a role into him not coming back into the movie as well.
I'll have to look it up.
I don't think so. I think that, like, with a movie, with these movies coming out as quickly, like, back to back as they did, they clearly like have a story written out. And they just, kind of like Lord of the Rings, they just like filmed all of them. There was no breaks, you know what I mean? And so a point I was kind of getting at with that method of releasing, a la COVID-19 or something like that, I also like this. It's a very different narrative structure that I personally am here for, where in the first movie, it's really about Spike and it's this coming of age story. With this one, and then at the sort of towards the middle and end, you're introduced to Dr. Kelson. This movie is really about him. And Spike is in it, but he is no longer the main character. This is a different story about Dr. Kelson and Samson. and which is the alpha zombie that he basically injects with morphine, and then things start happening. Starts to wonder, can they be cured? Is there a cure to the infection? And so it kind of transitions, and I wonder, like Tom brought up earlier, will the third movie, like, how will it transition? Because if it were kind of like Lord of the Rings, where we're following Frodo and these characters through one big story told over 3 movies, this is 3 movies that are telling, like, it is one big story, but it shifts the focus from one person to another. And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. Well,
I guess
since
for
we're
me,
transition, oh, go ahead,
I
Atlas.
don't enjoy. Appreciate it. I don't enjoy like the To me, it felt like hook, line, and sinker, right? Where the first half of that first movie has this very kind of Walking Dead, more action movie kind of feel to it. Then it disappears completely. And I guess like for me, maybe you guys feel differently, but I care less about like the personal journeys of like, interfamily like networks. Like sure, it can be good, but I guess I wasn't tuning into 28 Days Later to see a mother like, Alzheimer's journey. I get it's a unique kind of twist to it, but to me, it takes it so far away from like the actual premise of like what happened in that world. It's kind of like a story inside of a story.
Yeah, which again, if you want to see a zombie action movie, you will be disappointed. But I'm okay with I'll give you a perfect example. Blade Runner 2049. It's this like dystopian world. There's this whole thing about synthetics and whatnot. And if you think about it, the continuation of the first movie where you have John, I think it's John Deckard. I know his last name's Deckard. He, it's like, is he a synth? Can synth have kids? And then so that story has become secondary, and it is being told through the eyes of a completely different character, which is Joe or Kay. And so it's really a detective mystery with this story about, are the synthetics going to have a revolution? Is there going to be this like uprising? Can they have kids? When really that's not what the second movie is about. It is about him finding his own humanity and helping a father find his daughter. And so it's like having a sort of genre shift. Again, that's like taste. If you wanted it to be a zombie movie, yeah, it would be disappointing. But it's like the zombies are the backdrop. And I hate to tell you, the second one, I think there's like 3 zombies in the second one. This one has more to do with the human element and like what bad things other people are willing to do to someone given the opportunity.
But I would chime in and say that the human element is much more fun than the son and daughter or son and mother journey.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like Atlas, I actually think you might like this one way more, especially because the first one does set up so many other characters. You get their backstories, you get a lot of their character development in a way. So this one, it's just kind of like even the beginning of the movie. I guarantee you're not going to be able to guess how the movie starts. Like it's good.
Interesting.
So
yeah. Well, I guess with the Blade Runner example, I get that, but it's also because like I can put myself in that guy's shoes, whereas I don't feel like I can put myself in anybody's shoes. Maybe besides Ian Kelson, maybe like in a crazy world, I went insane, and that's what I wanted to start doing. But with Kay, like in Blade Runner, it's like that's a story where I can feel like if I place myself, 400 years in advance or whatever, could I be going through something similar like this? To me, it's a bit stronger of an actual story. It's more believable. It's more relatable. There's more robust nature to it than what I guess we're getting in this kind of series. Maybe it's different taste.
Yeah, sure. And also he's a kid, it's kind of hard for us to relate to. Like a big plot point about the first movie, like we've talked about already, it relies on his ignorance of things that is common knowledge to us. So it is inherently harder for us to put ourselves in his shoes. So I get that criticism. But
British.
yeah. I did Atlas and I were talking about the movie last night, and one of like it was just so cool is when him and the dad in the first movie are going on the hunt, and then they start to be hunted by the alpha. There's the part where they're hiding in the house, and Atlas brought up how you see the alpha on the hill, and he's just watching them, which is not what they're used to. You know, we're not used to zombie movies where the zombies are like 13 feet tall and are like tactful. They're like hunting. It's not like just mindless beasts anymore. And
It was a great, terrifying element because I'm pretty sure they go to sleep in the attic and they wake up at sunrise and he's still there staring at the house. Like that was a good, like terrifying element to add into it, which to me is like, it's just so, like the tone of that is so different than what you get in the rest of the movie. It's almost kind of confusing. You kind of be like, did you even need this first half portion? It could have almost started with the dad cheating on the wife and would have made more sense that way.
That's fair.
Yeah, and a lot of other people complain about the ending being a tonal whiplash too, with the Jimmies showing up as if they're retarded Power Rangers, just
Forgot about
having
that.
like just killing zombies in just a very jarring fashion, as if they weren't like really that big of a threat when they were, like all throughout the film.
Yeah, like it was weird. I kind of liked it when I saw it in theaters, but I think it's one of those things where, like Josh was saying earlier, they have a plan. They actually have this written out. I think Alex Garland wrote the entire trilogy, so they have an idea of what's going to happen. But it makes sense when you watch the second movie, like literally from the very get go. It's like, all right, that actually okay. These people are insane.
Yeah, and I to start the transition into Bone Temple, I kind of want to get my thoughts out immediately and just say I thought the Bone Temple, or at least I enjoyed the Bone Temple more than I did 28 years later. I don't know if that's the same sentiment with you guys. I know Atlas hasn't seen the Bone Temple yet, but immediately, like I started, like at the end of 28 years later, I was like, man, how are they going to like implement the Jimmy gang in Bone Temple? But the director, Nia DaCosta, I think that's how you pronounce her name, she implements them well. I thought that they fit in the world pretty good, and they, again, like their plot line was far more compelling than the previous plot line with Spike and his mother, at least to me.
Yeah, I
These
agree.
The guys
So
like in the weird colored suits and the masks and whatnot.
yeah. So Atlas, you're okay with a little bit of spoilers. I mean,
You
it
could
sounds
spoil
like
everything.
so this Jimmy gang is led by the guy. He's the same actor who played the main vampire from Sinners. Seen him in a lot of movies recently, and I really enjoy him. But they basically, it's kind of like sprinkled in throughout this story because the kid from like the opening scene from 28 years later, I don't know if you remember, Atlas, but it's the outbreak is happening and there is a pastor or priest in a church and he hides his son in like one of the pulpit things and gets
I
attacked
think
by
he hides him. He ignores him.
something like
The son
that.
does
Yeah.
it himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. And so that is Jimmy, who is the leader of this Jimmy gang. And they tone down the color so it's less like vibrant greens and stuff.
I forgot about that because it makes you think Spike is that kid, but he's not. And then you see the cross at the very end of the first movie. Forgot about that. Yeah.
See, I thought it was his dad. I thought it was Aaron Taylor Johnson. That was like his origin story. And now we're seeing him as an adult with the kid. And then at the end, it's like, oh no, this is that other guy. And so he basically, they have this like induction ceremony where he has to fight one of the gang members to either, it's a fight to the death. So you either have to kill him and take his place in the gang or you are killed. And
That's awesome.
the kid who he fights is like a grown man and he gets lucky. He like pantses him, takes a knife and stabs him and just happens to get an artery in his leg. And he is like pissing blood and the guy starts freaking out. He dies, he bleeds out. And then Spike takes his place in the gang. And, you're kind of like, you're following him. There's time jumps, so you're not really sure how much is going on. But it's basically revealed that this Jimmy gang are Satanists. They literally worship Satan. And they go around and they kill and torture people for Satan, because that's what
in a very, very, very like messed up and gory manner. Like what they do is like to this one family or group that they come across is that they tie them up like by the arms, like holding them up, and they skin them alive. They use their hands and tools to just like physically take their skin off of them, and you see like 3 of them with their like all of the skin off of their chests, and it's just so gory.
Well,
it's pretty crazy, dude.
So basically the leader of this gang, Jimmy, he gives this speech about Old Nick, which I guess that's like a British term for I didn't know who Old Nick was. But apparently that refers to Satan. And he talks about how that is his father. And he thinks the zombies are demons. He thinks these are like demon-possessed people, and his father like led them in that church for a second. So he thinks his father is Satan. And so he has these moments where he like gives a sermon, and he talks about how he has 7 fingers, which is all the gang members. That's why he has to like, you can't have just another gang member. Someone has to kill one to take their place. And he has this sermon where he basically prays to Satan, and he says, we will give them charity, which just means they're going to torture him. And he goes, their form of charity is remove their shirts. And then you see Spike, he goes like, oh no, like, because he knows it's implied he's seen this before. He knows what's going to happen. And of course it involves, like Jack said, them like skinning them, like removing the skin kind of in the shape of a shirt up to their like elbows. And it shows it's pretty graphic. Don't watch it around the kids.
Yeah.
Like sounds aggressive.
The whole movie, dude, it's, you know how like you guys were talking about how the first one, it had a bunch of tone shifts and it kind of threw you off. This one doesn't have a tone shift. It kind of stays the same consistent throughout the entire movie. And it is way better for that. 100%. Like this is a way better movie than the first one.
Yeah. And
this is kind of like him.
I read.
Go ahead, Atlas.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah. Oh, I read online some articles.
Go ahead, Jake.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. I'll shut up.
Atlas, you go.
I was thinking to the effect of that, right? Which they do play out that scene. Because his dad is kneeling. I remember this very well because I watched that movie literally like 3 weeks ago. His dad is like kneeling, praying, and it's like the last person you see in that opening scene because the kid's like frantically running around. And it would make sense then that he takes that. You would think it would go the opposite direction. You'd think he would hate his dad for that, for like sitting there and like basically abandoning him. He's like praying, arms wide open as the zombies break through the window and like start eating him. But I guess as you're describing it, it went the inverse. He's now like praising his dad, thinking his dad was like ushering in something, and now he's the continuation of that, which is somehow even more disturbing.
Oh yeah.
What were you going to say, Jack? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I read some articles online, and apparently if you like the action or violence, that should be credited to Nia DaCosta, the director for this film, and not actually Danny Boyle or Alex Garland, because she was the one that actually suggested making those creative decisions. So, which is surprising. So I gotta give props to her for that at least, or for like elevating the original script by having these elements, since apparently that's like it. She was the one who added this. But let's see. Another aspect I liked was how this is actually an element I spotted and I got glimpses of in the original film. But do you guys feel as though the film is commenting on COVID and Brexit in a sense?
I did
without
not
explicitly
take
saying
that away.
I didn't catch that, but I'm curious to hear what your take for that is.
So it's not like, as you how do I put this? So you have like a lot of during COVID and Brexit, there was a lot of turmoil over people like being divided, and in a sense, this is you also get the sense in this infection in the 28 Years franchise. But instead of coming together to actively as a community, as Britons, to solve this crisis, they're all just sort of scattered around, not really wanting to interact with each other. Instead, just kind of staying in their own communities, scared to interact with the world. But and that's where like Spike and Ralph Fiennes' character come in. They want to actually make a significant change. And Ralph Fiennes' character, this is what drives him to form a relationship or a friendship with Samson, and like actually acknowledge that what they're dealing with is an illness, and he wants to cure it. But nobody else seems to realize that, and they're just using it as an opportunity to either to stay away from everyone else, or like the Jimmies use it as an opportunity to create cult of personality and basically oppress everyone else or impose their will on everyone else. Does anything I'm saying make any sense, or am I just reaching?
It seems like a bit of a reach,
but it does make a little bit of sense.
Yeah,
I think you could make a case for that. I'm pretty sure some dude could do like a 3-hour video essay and that be the main point, and it would make a lot of sense.
I think
sure.
I know a guy.
I think I know.
Jack, that sounds right up Jack's alley. I don't know about 3
There you
hours,
go.
but
Do the
Yeah.
Lincoln.
I like-
run
Yeah,
time.
I do have
liked-
to take off though. I appreciate you for having me.
of course, thank you
hell
for
yeah,
coming,
Atlas.
Atlas. You the man. We're
Yeah,
gonna
thanks.
have a Star Wars discussion one day.
Yeah, thanks
We
for
have
coming
to.
out.
I'm mad that I missed the last one.
Yes.
I could go 5 hours on Star Wars.
Hell yeah, dude.
sweet,
that's
okay.
that's happening for
Yes.
sure. But anyway, dude, we appreciate
Right.
you coming, and we will catch you soon.
All right,
Sounds
later,
good. I'll see
Atlas.
you guys next time. Take care.
All right, let me get Jack on screen. There we go. So,
Yeah, there we go.
I want to transition because like there was a side the kind of main story, like I said, it had to do more with Kelson, was him and Samson, him basically bringing Samson back from the infection and trying to treat him. And I really enjoyed that part of the movie. I really enjoyed it. It's simple, you know. There's not like oh, I think I can cure him with this magic root, but it's far away and we got to go on an adventure, because then it'd just be the first movie all over again. This one is just like him just like giving him morphine. He realizes that like he kind of calms down. There might be a way to treat him, but then he has that moment where he's like, I'm running out of morphine and I know it helps you, but I can give you peace, the peace you crave. And he basically is going to euthanize him. But then Samson, looking up at the moon, goes, moon. And he's a zombie
Yeah.
that's clearly evolving intelligence, and he is able to recognize the moon and say a word because he was a little boy when the infection first started. So I really liked that subplot. Well, that's kind of the main plot, and how that and the Jimmy plot with Spike connected in the end. I really enjoyed how they did that.
Yeah, it was great. The Samson thing, because once you kind of get an idea of what they're doing with that, at first I was like not really feeling it, but then towards the end, especially when Samson kind of regains a little bit of his humanity, and then all the other zombies don't see him as a zombie anymore, they just
That
start
was
attacking
cool.
him. I was like, okay, this shit is awesome. I don't think I've seen a zombie movie do something like this. I like this, you know. It's good, dude. It was cool.
Jack?
Yeah, Kelson was definitely my favorite part of the movie too. Ralph Fiennes' performance was awesome. Probably the best performance I've seen of the year so far. But then again, like I've only seen like 5 movies that have come out this year so far. Most of them shit. But
January,
like
it's like Red Letter Media says, "Fuck you." It's January, where
fuck
that's
it,
where
it's
they just
January.
unload the shit.
Yeah, but he
Silent
really
Hill.
does like he really does like tell you what the point of the movie is. Like his catchphrase is memento mori, and if you don't know, like that's a term used in nihilism, which essentially espouses if nothing matters, then be your best and make the world better, and that's exactly what he's doing. It's also a great inverse of Marlon Brando's character.
I thought Memento
From
Mori
Apocalypse
translated
Now.
to Remember the Dead.
Yeah, yeah, and exactly. It's supposed to be, hey, don't like remember. That's what the Bone Temple is supposed to represent. Remembering the dead, like it's acknowledging that the infected are still people at the end of the day, and that's what the point of going into the that's what the point of the Bone Temple is. You look at this and say, you look at this memorial and you think to yourself, someone did this not for any direct benefit other than to point out that other than to promote like a good karma, or like a to promote this idea that we're all human at the end of the day. At least that's what I got out of the Bone Temple.
Yeah, I like that. And I liked how these movies, they don't really spoon feed the point to the audience. You know what I mean? You see in the first movie the point of view of one of the alphas where he's attacking like a deer and he eats it, and his, all the zombies that follow him eat it. And then in this movie, they're attacking a person, and you see that what he's seeing is like the person is a zombie or something. And so they kind of spoon feed to you the nature of the infection and like what are they seeing, And then
because it's not supposed to be traditional zombies with 28 days later. It's just like a rage virus. So yeah, like you're right.
Yeah. Well, did you guys actually like that aspect? Because I looked at that and I'm just like, like I can buy. Actually, no. I'll just say it. Like I kind of had some questions of the logistics of it, because sure they see them as monsters, but how do they rationalize themselves, like killing them after they're running away or something? If they're like attacking them because they're scared.
I don't think I don't think they rationalize at all. I think it kind of strips them down to basic instincts, and then what it does is it just kind of heightens their fear and their survival. So they see that, and then they're like, "Oh my God, this thing's going to kill me." Even if it's running away, they're not thinking about it like that. They're just thinking, this thing's going to kill me. I got to kill it. I just have to kill. I have to eat. I have to survive.
It's not simply that they're like normal human beings hallucinating things. It just kind of added that in there, where it's also not as simple as they just have uncontrolled rage and survival instincts. Like there's complexity to the nature of the infection, which helps Kelson kind of, I forget how exactly he figures that out, but he kind of deduces it and then uses that to
putting Samson under morphine, and then Samson on his own just comes back because it makes those negative thoughts. It makes the rage virus not necessarily go away completely, but it subdues it.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's transition into the ending of this movie, where basically the Jimmy gang, who are Satan worshipers, they see, or one of the members of the Jimmy gang see this unbelievable sight, which is a bone temple with a red-skinned man dancing with one of the alphas. So of course they think that is old Nick, Satan, that is the real Satan. He's here. And of course the leader, Jimmy Prime, I guess we could call him, because it's all bullshit, it's all like in his head or made up, he's kind of having to contend with this. And so he goes and confronts Dr. Kelson personally, realizes he's not the real Satan. And so he's like, look, you can either help me convince my gang that you're the real Satan and to do what I say, or I'm going to kill you myself. So he's under duress and he does it, and he puts in this crazy performance into pretending to be Satan. He plays Iron Maiden on his old record player. He sets like a ring of fire. He starts shaking up like cans of fire or whatever, and he's sticking his tongue out and shit. He's crazy.
He drugs them up. He
Yes.
like poofs drugs in their face, and now it's like even heightened. That part was like so cool. I was like, dude,
Yeah, I was like, I want to be there. That looks like fun.
that looks crazy. Like because I know this movie, it has like a lot of like obviously like Satanist like imagery and stuff, but I like how it shows the actual Satanists to be just these crazy maniacs, and everything they believe in, even the things that they think are good, are just obviously evil. So I love how on the nose it was. It's like, it's not the traditional Satanism stuff you'll see, like the occultic stuff you'll see in movies where they kind of like hide it a little bit, or they try to make it seem like it's good or it's righteous. It's like, nah, this stuff's evil, and then this dude is just fucking with them, and I mean, well, he has to, because he doesn't want to die at first, at least.
Yeah.
But it was awesome, dude. The ending was great.
And I like how Dr. Kelson, he's basically trying to, he forms this sort of like friendship type relationship, almost like a pet master relationship with Samson. And now he's in a situation where he has to save his own life by giving his all into this performance. And he does what he is told to do, which is, I, Satan, command you to obey my son Jimmy from now on. And then he realizes that one of the kids in the gang is Spike. And so he improvises and he goes, like opposite of God, just how God's son had to be killed to fulfill his duty, so too does mine. And Jimmy's like, oh, what the fuck? And so basically he has the Jimmy gang turn on Jimmy Prime, but Jimmy, he like stabs him first, but eventually they get the upper hand, and it culminates in them nailing him to a cross upside down, which was
St. Peter's style.
Yeah, St. Peter's style. And it was awesome just how like at the end, Samson shows up and he's hallucinating him as the devil. And Samson has basically become cured. And Tom, you actually brought up the scene where Samson kind of goes off on his own and becomes human again, or the infection subsides. That scene was great.
Yeah, he has an early memory of him as a child, which was like he's always been for most of his life, or for all of his life as a human, he was a human child. But ever since then, he's just been infected.
And in the Moon Book, he's reading like the book about the stars and stuff. That was cool. It was a little cool touch. And then also, it kind of makes you think, if they're gonna keep evolving his character, does this mean he's like completely, like he can't get affected again? Because they're biting him and stuff, and he's not getting infected with the rage virus anymore. So maybe he's just like this. He still has his powers, his alpha strength and all this, but he can't get the virus anymore. So it's a really cool concept. I like it.
Yeah, I think what it is he has like overcome the virus. So he still has the virus and he can probably still transmit it, but the symptoms of like uncontrolled rage, he's basically overcome those. And I love the scene where the zombies that originally followed him, they're sort of like following him around. And it goes to like, because it's like, how do the zombies tell who's a zombie and who's not? Well, there must be some method to it. I love that in this, where like the zombies are almost like suspicious of him. And there's a moment where he's sitting on the train and they're like just all staring at him. and he's having this memory of being on the train, and the person asks him, he goes, "Do you have a ticket?" And him in real time, he goes, "No, I don't." And then that makes the zombies realize he's like human again, so they attack him. And it's kind of, it happens off screen, but you know, he's getting bit and stuff, and he comes out, he kills them all with his superior strength. It was a awesome scene. I liked it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But do you think Jimmy Prime survived in the end? Because it's left ambiguous.
I that's like a big stretch because he also got stabbed in the because they did that same thing where he got stabbed in the chest or like the abdomen. So
They
he's
did the
bleeding
Jesus
out.
thing where he's stabbed in the
Yeah,
side.
he's literally like
Yeah.
just an inverse. I mean, if they want to bring him back in some way, maybe as like a zombie, he gets
As
he
an
gets
alpha.
bitten, and he becomes an alpha or something. Or I don't know, like they could even bring him back. He's a fun character. I don't think they should. I think they put a good close on that, you know?
Well, and he's
Yeah.
hallucinating Samson. Samson picks up Kelson as he dies and says thank you. And he goes to bury him, I guess, or like, you know, he goes to do something with his body. And then what Jimmy sees is Samson attack him. Now, that
Oh,
wouldn't make
yeah.
very much sense if
Mhm.
Samson did that. That could just be a hallucination because he is hallucinating him being the devil. Like he's seeing him with pure red skin and like horns and stuff, which he doesn't have. So we don't see him die, but I would be surprised if he survived that. If he became
Yeah.
infected, that'd be one thing.
Yeah.
What-
Yeah, because
But,
I thought that they could have done more with his character, like instead of just killing him off. See, the direction I thought it was going to go into, like with him talking with Kelson, is that he's going to uncover like the tools he's established and like sort of tricks and cheat codes on how to deal with the infected, and use that to influence not only influence the other Jimmies, but also build another army. To also build another, like an army of infected, to like influence them to attack other people, and that would lead into the third film. But of course, they didn't do that.
No, but they did connect it to the first movie at the very
Mhm.
end,
Yeah,
So
they
which
did.
was cool. I wasn't expecting that.
Cillian Murphy was in the first movie.
Yeah, he's the
Yep.
main dude in the first movie.
Yep.
And that, I mean, this you already know the spoiler at this point, but that girl, that's his daughter, that he has with this other woman that survives. So it's actually cool that they did that, and that they're still out there and they've been just kind of surviving. So I wonder where they're going to take it, but I did like the ending of this very much because it connects it to the other films.
And I guess what I would say, if we're getting into prediction mode here, what I think they're going to do is they're going to have some sort of conflict, and it's going to culminate with the Samson is definitely coming back. And it is going to basically be, they're going to try and prove to the outside world that there is a cure. That's what I would assume.
Yeah, what I see, this is something that was
Which
built
I'm not
up
crazy about.
in the first film. Like the world building was established in the first film, but it's not given any focus in the second film. Like, so essentially the world is still going on, even though the UK is like went to shit, and that begs a lot of questions, because if we don't have them here, if the UK doesn't exist as a functioning country, like that would significantly impact the world through its absence. Like not even just through like the global economy, but wars and conflicts would start to arise. Like Russia and China, they would probably become more willing to to be ballsy and start taking over other countries for land or other resources. So I'm really curious to see if they do address that in the third film, like how what the state of the world is.
Mm, I
I
mean, maybe. I don't think they need to, but
right.
that would be interesting if they tried to have a take on it. And with the Samson thing, I don't know if they're going to try and go that route to where they're going to try and prove to other people. You might have somebody like Spike or Cillian Murphy discover that this infected is a little different. But the only person who was able to figure out that you could reverse it was Dr. Kelson, and he's dead. So
Hmm.
it could just be, this one alpha. Like they could have it to where the alpha just dies in the third film and they never
Yeah.
figure out anything. But I think the story that they're going to go with is it's going to be because Cillian Murphy is saving Spike, right, and that other girl. They're going to team up, take them in. But what about Spike's father? What about that other group? What's going on with them? Did that infected baby, did it turn into a zombie? Did it like start killing people? Is there something going on there? Are they going to interact with each other? Is there going to be like a showdown between Cillian Murphy and Aaron Taylor Johnson? That would be cool. I don't know if they're going to do that, but I would hope that they do something, keep playing into the human aspect.
That's a good point because I keep forgetting about that damn baby. That was such a minor part of the first movie. I
Mhm.
almost like completely forgot about it.
Yeah, my prediction, based on what I have to go on, would be that I think the United Nations or the rest of the world is finally going to say, okay, these guys are a liability. Let's just nuke them, so we don't have to worry about the virus anymore, and that's going to encourage uh, the Spike to tell Killian Murphy about the baby and how there can potentially be a cure, and then they're going to go meet up with his dad, and then uh, they're going to try and escape the isolations of the blockade to try and make an appeal to the world to spare them or to try to find a cure. That just off the top of my head, that's how I think they're going to end the trilogy off, because it's what I can't think of a more bombastic thing to do.
You got something, Tom?
I mean, it's possible they could go that route. They could just reverse the retcon of the second movie to where the infection spreads like all over Europe and I guess like it spreads to like America and everything. But they could try to do that. I don't know if they're gonna go for like a good ending. I feel like if they do anything, it might just lead to the world collapsing, or it could just be that community dying off, or maybe there's like you said, the UN comes in. Maybe they just send more soldiers there. It becomes a bigger conflict. I would prefer it to just kind of remain like that. I wouldn't want to go all around the world and have them be like, oh, we can cure them with science and you just got to use a vaccination and you just got to, it's like, I don't want them to do any of that fucking bullshit, but like, I don't
Yeah,
know, like they
I
could.
I like, and that's kind of what we were talking about with the last two. Is there that will probably be an element of it, but will it succeed? You know what I mean? Like they're gonna basically, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna be in a situation where most likely they're being swarmed by zombies, and then Samson is going to help, and they're gonna be like, "Holy crap, he's clearly an alpha, and he's cured. What do we do now?" And then, like there will be some conflict yet to be introduced that Samson will probably die. He'll probably sacrifice himself, and we won't have like a solid ending. You know what I mean? It'll
Mm.
kind of be a wrap to that story, this like
Oh,
continuous Spike timeline.
and you know what they'll probably do too with the third film is the only other person who knows Samson's name is Spike. So you know how we keep talking about how
Ah,
Spike keeps getting like saved by all these random people? It's gonna happen again, dude, in the third movie, but it's gonna be Samson. He'll call Samson by name, and then that's gonna tell Samson, oh, he's a friend. Or at least
yes,
they
that's a
should.
good
It's
point.
open to do that. They should capitalize on that.
That's a good
Yeah.
point, dude. Go ahead, Jack.
Oh no, I was just agreeing. I guess another thing we could talk about is, let's see, like, do you think it's like really established that the alphas and like the regular infected are different enough so that the cure could only affect the alphas and not the rest of the infected, or do you think that's not the case?
Mm,
That's not the case.
that's
I
that's
think
a
you've
good
got a
point because
point
they're
there.
smarter.
Yeah.
They're more intelligent. It might just be the alphas, and maybe they just have to kill off all the other ones. That
Hmm.
would be
Could
cool.
be.
But how many alphas are there? Because there's only supposed to be like
We've only seen
one for
2.
every. Yeah, technically. So
Well, the
maybe.
what was a pregnant zombie? Was she an alpha? Because she had the capacity to reason with the mom.
Oh, you know
Mm,
She
what?
knew to not attack her.
You know what it is I don't remember if she gave the zombie any drugs. I would imagine not, but I remember there was something about her giving birth. It kind of snapped her back to like reality, which is why the mom, because she had Alzheimer's, she wasn't really processing that it was a zombie. You know, she was treating it like a normal pregnant woman, and she like did, you know, she like put the hands up to like have her grab her hands because that's like a Lamaze technique or something. And the female zombie was kind of like cogent for a minute there, but then she had the
mm.
baby and passed out. And when she woke up, she was a zombie again. So I do think normal zombies can be cured.
Okay.
Because they're not technically dead. They're
Right.
technically it's just like because it's like a different version. So yeah, you're probably right. Like there's probably just basic certain things that could tap into that humanity that's still
Right.
there. But like, are they going to figure that out? Like, I don't know. Spike's definitely not going to be able to know how to do it, and Samson, the only version of him when he was a human was a kid, so he's probably not going to know what drugs to use or what was used on him. So that's like the question is, are they even going to be able to kind of think that, without the doctor being there? It's like, oh, this can be cured through drugs.
And even still, Dr. Kelson talked about how he's scoured the wasteland looking for morphine and there's just none left. So even if they figured it out, what could they do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's also like an iodine. Is that a scarce resource? Well, it's a pain in the ass to make just like pure iodine to rub all over yourself. So
I would imagine, yeah, is probably few and far between.
Yeah,
yeah, but
definitely.
I'm just curious to see what the rising action or like what the cause will be to get all of the characters to go. Okay, we need to find a cure right now. Like,
Yeah, I think the cure will. It kind of like how it was kind of hinted at in the first movie. It will probably not be the focus. There will like
mm,
Cillian Murphy will probably be like, it's curable, but it's like, what will come of it? Probably not much.
Yeah, I don't think they should focus on it at all. I think the idea that they already have Samson, which is pretty cool because he's a very unique character, right? So that's already good enough. But I mean, if nobody else, if all these other countries, like, if they couldn't figure out anything and if they just had to block off England from the rest of the world, and Dr. Kelson was the only one to figure out about the iodine and then, the psychological medicine, I would prefer it kind of dies with him, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And
just
so that
me.
was
That's just
just a
me.
way to introduce the one cured zombie. you know?
The one cured. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, where so he's got like Tom, as you said, he's got like powers. He's like extra strong, and now he's like human again. He will definitely come to help. And I'm imagining like there's going to be a scene where maybe he has to fight another alpha.
Maybe that's
That
what
would
kills
be
him.
Yeah, and because because the alpha's just like, you know, he'll probably like be losing, but he uses a tool. You know, it's like but he dies of his injuries. You know, I totally see that happening.
That would be cool. I would be fine if they did that. I know it's kind of cliche, like we've seen stuff like that with like Logan, and I would be cool with that for his character because I really do like his character a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, me too.
I like that. I like those surprises with movies.
But with that being said, I think we're kind of wrapping up here on the Bone Temple talk. Before we go though, Tom, I want to hear a little bit more about. So Jack and Tom have both talked about seeing crappy movies this year. Tom said Silent Hill was bad. I want to hear some about
my
the bad
gosh.
movies you've seen so far.
Dude, Jack, don't watch it, please. It's
I'm
horrible.
gonna have to because I'm a movie completionist. I gotta make I have to make the best of the year list and worst of the year list. So.
All right, worst of the year. I already got you, dude. Number 1 is Silent Hill. Because Return to Silent Hill. Do you know a lot about Silent Hill? Have you played the games, or do you know like the story?
No, I haven't played the games.
Okay, so there's a game called Silent Hill 2. It came out on the PlayStation 2. It's arguably, from a story perspective, one of the best written horror video games ever. This movie is adapting that story. And obviously, they have to make some changes because it's not a video game, right? They make a lot of changes. Every single change they make is not even arguably. It's just worse. It's objectively worse. And then the few things that they do keep from the game, they do it in the worst way imaginable. It is quite possibly one of the worst adaptations I've ever seen. I think it's the lowest rated video game adaptation on Rotten Tomatoes for a good reason. And then also the effects, it looks like it was all green screen and they were just using Unreal Engine for everything. But it's so bad, bro. They do this bullshit at the end to where they pull that card where it's like, oh, well, this didn't all actually happen, and the hero gets a good ending, and he drives off in the sunset with the girl, and it's like, bro, that fucking doesn't happen in the game. What do you even? Oh my god! And then there's these 3 separate characters in the game. They're all their own people. In the movie, there's a plot twist to where they make them all one person, and it's like a psychic. It's like a psyche breaking, and it breaks into 3 different persons. Is the dumbest shit, dude. And the way I'm telling you, I know you're gonna watch it, but I don't want anybody else to watch it. Okay, that's why I just spoiled We might have to do an episode on that.
Well, Tom, you kind of are raising my expectations because Josh and I believe that the worst video game adaptation of all time, at least right now, is Until Dawn. I don't know if you've played that game, but Until Dawn, the movie adaptation sucked. I hated it.
This might actually be neck and neck with that one because you guys were talking about that last time. It's pretty bad, bro.
I've not played Silent Hill, but I definitely it sounds interesting, and I definitely want to check it out at some point. And Tom, I know we've talked about getting a gaming channel started or a gaming show started on Nav. I'm down to play some. I don't know if that's multiplayer, but I am down to play Until Dawn because that is multiplayer.
There are a lot of games from that company where you can join as multiplayer as different characters.
That would be fun. Yeah, that would be fun.
We have to get that going because we talked about that like a few weeks ago.
I'm down.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool, bro.
Smelly Balls in chat says W. Absolutely, that would be a fun stream because and Tom, you not having played it before, I would love to get your take on that. Another really good one that's underrated. Everyone knows about Until Dawn is House of Ashes. That one, it's the same thing where it's like you're basically just playing a movie. You know, it's all like cutscenes, like, but it's super good. It is definitely, that's a fun one too. I'm down to play either of those.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Silent Hill, that's not co-op, but we can get to that later because there's so many of those. I love
We
Silent
could do
Hill.
like an
Silent
Oni
Hill
plays.
3.
We could do like an Oni plays video where Tom or someone else plays the game and we just provide commentary.
That would be cool.
With Until Dawn and the other ones, it's multiplayer and you can play from different places. You know, we don't have to be in the same room, but it is turn based, where you pick a character in the story to play, and then when it's like they're the focus, then you get to play the game.
Okay, that's cool. But I can still watch and see what you're doing when you're the focus.
So when I'm
cool.
playing, you guys would be able to watch and we would be able to talk and hear each other provide commentary and vice versa. It's like, okay, now it's shifting to Tom's character and we'd follow you.
Dude, that sounds awesome because can't you like fuck stuff up in that game and it's like funny?
Yes.
Okay.
There's quick time events and they which is fun. That's what I really like about the game because I always play those types of games. It's called the Dark Pictures. It's these horror games where you play as characters and, you know, you do things and quick time and all that stuff. And my buddies that I always play with, they always play it smart. And we always die. It's like, dude, they are tricking you. Like one of the things is, you know, it's like you have to have good relationships with other characters because they might betray you. Like there's some things that are out of your control or something. One of them was the game was like you're in a hotel and the hotel is like made by a serial killer and there's booby traps, there's fake walls and stuff. And so there's one point early on where you pick up a book and you can decide to put the book down or you can throw it at your friend's head. And my buddy, who's a little bit more rambunctious, he's like, I'm going to throw it at his head. And all the other friends were like, no, don't do that. He won't like you anymore and he might betray you. But he throws it at the friend's head. It hits the head and he's like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? But then later on, there's a part where you're running from the serial killer and this trap door closes, but the book is still on the ground and it keeps the door open. You know, there's no way you can predict these things, you know? So it's like,
that's actually cool.
yeah, you do. If you do some stupid shit, sometimes it works out. So we'll definitely we'll play for we'll play for gold, man. It's gonna be fun.
All right, I'm down.
There are a bunch of like multiplayer games we can even play with. I don't know if you're up for this. Maybe some viewers if they're in our Discord, like some party games.
Yo,
I'd be cool with that.
That would be fun, dude. Some
are we gonna do a little Halo? Are we gonna do a little Halo action?
Oh, I'm down. I'm down for Halo.
Yeah.
I know you can do like the servers. We can just have death matches, bro. Hell yeah. I love it.
I'm very bad at video games though, like shooters. So you're probably going to kick my ass, but you know, it'll be fun. We'll have fun along the way.
We can be bad. We just can't be the worst. Just keep that in mind.
We'll have to pick somebody and just pick on them.
Smelly Balls says Halo 3 with, why is the mouse mother friggin' not working? Smelly Balls, I can't wait for that. Halo 3 with the boys. Let's go, dude.
That's if you have the Master Chief collection on PC, it's like I think we can all play.
That'd be fun.
That's something we could set up, yeah. And that shit goes on sale all the time for like 10 pennies or whatever. It's like it's crazy the deals they do.
10 penny. Speaking of 10 penny, Alistair 10 penny. When Fallout wraps, we definitely have to watch that. We have to talk about that because I know Tom is probably not going to like it. Jack, do you have it on HBO or Prime? Watch
it's on Amazon
Fallout.
Prime. I haven't seen the first season, so if we're gonna talk about it, I gotta binge watch it.
Get caught up.
Okay,
because
I still
we're
haven't
gonna talk about it.
Most of the second season, yeah, and I think they're putting out for video games. I heard a rumor they're remaking Fallout 3, and it's gonna release when season 2 ends. They're gonna remaster it, which I love Fallout 3. I just played that like complete to completion like 2 years ago. I did everything, so I'm in a
Oh.
Fallout mood.
You're in a
I'm in a
Fallout mood.
Fallout zone.
I've never
Yeah.
played any of the Fallout games, so that should be fun.
Dude.
Maybe that could be a stream too. Also,
Dude, you would love it.
so another show that might be worth reviewing. I talked about this with Jack a while ago. Is It Welcome to Derry? Y'all ever see that?
Oh no.
Or the
I heard
It
good
movies? Any of the It
I've
movies?
I've seen the original and then the 2 new ones.
The show is very good. I like the show better than any of the movies. It's very fun, so we could do that. But any suggestions for what to talk about next week?
Well, what's going to be coming out like next month or even next week?
I don't know.
Well,
And
let me look
you know,
at
we
the
don't
February.
have to always do current things. We could do
That's true.
That's true.
just whatever we want. Upcoming
Because I don't even
movies.
know what is coming out.
Let me just look for the sake
We
of it.
could do Avatar, but I hate those movies.
Bro, oh my god. I could talk about Avatar 3, I'm not gonna lie. But
Oh, you saw it?
I did, but I don't wanna make you guys watch that.
Okay.
They're mostly, if it's anything like a Way of Water, I'm expecting it to be mostly filler with like
It's basically
some good
Way of
season
Water,
for
but
it.
worse. The action's great and the visuals are amazing, but dude, it's like, I think I've said this before. There's like talking whales in the movie. They like
talk?
speak, they're intelligent. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
There's not 1, not 2, but there's 3 scenes in the movie where they all have like a talking whale meeting. It's like a tribal whale meeting where they discuss important matters. It's the dumbest shit. You'll be watching it and you're like, dude, how did they know? It's 3 hours. But I will say this. The main bad guy, the villain, who's the same bad guy
Quaritch?
in all the movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
Quaritch, him and the spicy
His
alien
girlfriend?
chick yeah, dude, that was funny. That was cool. I like those scenes. Because it is that meme where it's like, never ask a white supremacist what color his
What
Hispanic
race his
girlfriend is.
Yeah.
It's straight up that, dude. It was awesome.
Those
But
are that's the only aspect of the film that I saw praised. Everything else has been negative.
Yeah, no, because it's true.
And
it's 3 hours of filler.
I realized the actress who plays that character, she's Robb Stark's wife from Game of Thrones. She's hot as hell, dude. So
Yeah,
I'm here
she's
for it.
nice.
Even though she's
You-
like
you'll see
blue.
the
wasn't
alien
this-
version.
Wasn't the girlfriend also like an ancestor to Charlie Chaplin,
In real life?
the actress playing the girlfriend?
Damn, that's some
Yeah,
elite
Quaritch's
ball knowledge, man. That's
I-
crazy if that's true. So is she not even Hispanic? Is she vindicated?
Well, she might
I don't know.
also be Hispanic.
They're not going to
Yeah,
get
she
mad
might
at
be
me for
mixed.
liking her.
I didn't. I thought Mandalorian and Grogu was coming out like this or next month. It turns out it doesn't come out
It's
till
coming
May.
out this year, definitely. I don't know.
It says it's coming out in May.
Mm.
Okay.
May. Okay.
Quick sidebar before we wrap. Did y'all see the trailer for Masters of the Universe?
Yeah, I saw it. What do you think?
No.
Uh,
What's going on?
So you know what that is, right? Like He-Man?
Yeah, I used to watch the 80s cartoon.
Okay, I'm okay with that. Like, and there was a joke that this is what like right-wing people piss me off sometimes.
The outrage over that is dumb.
Yeah. There's a joke where it has his name. He's like in an office and it has his like name tag, like his that you put on your desk. And it has his name and it's his pronouns, he, him. And people are like, oh, this is such liberal bullshit. And it's like, dude,
It's a joke.
It's a
joke.
joke.
It's a play on his name.
Yeah, He-Man,
Yeah,
him.
He-Man.
It's a joke. Calm down. But what upsets me is Skeletor is played by Jared Leto.
He looks
What
good
the
though. He
fuck?
at least looks good. He's not being played literally by Jared. There's CGI with him. It's
Now, here's the
he looks
thing.
good at least.
That's
I'm not
crazy, dude. How did he get that?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. How does Jared Leto keep getting work? Blade Runner saved his ass because he was in Tron, and that
Oh
sucked.
my god. Dude,
That
that
I
was
movie
disagree. I
disappointing,
disagree,
bro.
Josh. I disagree, Josh. Blade Runner isn't what saved him. We all know what actually saved him.
Okay.
Morbius.
Hell yeah, let's
Oh
go.
yeah, dude, it's Morbin time, bro.
Now,
It made $10 billion.
$10 more. In his defense, that's like the only movie I can think of in my entire life besides Avengers that like got put back in theaters because it was so popular. Now I know
then
that
nobody went to see
and
it.
then no one went to see it. Oh God.
Yeah, but these are the
got put
films
back.
that are going to be releasing or that are of note in February. Wuthering Heights, starring Margot Robbie.
Oh, no.
Goat, the animated film starring Steph Curry.
Oh,
Scream 7. And yeah, those are the major notable ones.
okay, so the Wuthering Heights movie, that's a gooner movie for women. So I don't think we should watch that. I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but
Yes.
that's literally what it is. It's going to be a gooner movie for women. They're just
Dude,
going to go there.
Be
There's
50
going to
Shades of
be
Grey and
pickles in the theaters.
times.
Just put like 50 Shades.
Yo, pickles in the theaters is crazy.
You remember
but
that?
it is
With
okay.
That is a thing that happened.
No way. You're telling me that women brought phallics things into 50 Shades of Grey?
You don't remember that?
No.
That was like a thing. Dude, yeah, I remember at the time I
Yo.
had the girl I was dating,
chose
she was
to
into
miss
the
it all.
books. So I had to go watch the movie like opening night with her, and bro, it was filled. I was like one of the only guys there. It was
Imagine
all
the
like
smell.
middle-aged women.
That's all I'm gonna say. Imagine the
Bro.
smell.
Yo.
You don't get paid enough to clean them chairs, dog. The
Dude.
blind man's gonna walk by and be like, smells like fish market up in here.
I'm working at the coast. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, so
in my
let's not watch
defense,
that
that
movie.
I brought a pickle in to watch it's Morbin time, so you know I can't judge too harshly.
Hey, that's understandable, right? That's Jared Leto.
Hell yeah, dude. So what do we want to talk about next week? I mean, you know, how Real Talk was before. We kind of went by topic. Okay, Tom, you're kind of the new guy here. What's a movie you like that is like you wish more people liked it?
Sucker Punch extended cut.
Really? Okay. See, I've never seen this.
Zack Snyder.
Yeah, Sucker Punch, not the theatrical edition, the rated R cut that came out on Blu-ray. That's in my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Oh wow!
I'm down. I'll watch it.
I'm not even kidding. I'm not saying you're gonna like it. I'm not saying you're gonna agree with me. But if you like hot chicks and if you actually like a very creative, interesting story with really good visuals that hold up to this day, you gotta watch the unrated cut or the extended cut. Don't watch the theater version, the PG-13 version. Don't watch that one because they cut out an entire character and an entire plot line. That
I don't think I've ever seen either version, so I'll check it out.
It
just
has
watch the extended.
A very like live action anime type vibe.
Bro, yeah,
Okay.
It's got Emily Browning in it. She's the main character, bro. I've been in love with her since I was like 13.
All right, I got to see this. Emily
Love my
Browning.
life. Yeah, she's just like white British chick. Beautiful.
Oh.
She plays Baby Doll. She's the one with the blonde hair. But dude, that movie's sick. And my other favorite movies, they're kind of popular, but that one's like the one that's like nobody really talks about, you know?
Yeah. Have you ever seen Spring Breakers?
With James Franco
and Selena Gomez?
Yeah. That movie came out a long time ago. I remember
2012.
Yeah, dude, that was a crazy movie, actually.
I've not seen this.
Spring Breakers?
No.
Yeah.
Do you want to do you like Spring Breakers? Jack?
Yeah, I like Spring Breakers, yeah.
You want to do Spring Breakers?
Let's do all the weird movies that we know aren't popular. Spring Breakers.
Oh.
What about you, Josh? You got one?
Okay. A weird movie.
that you like. That's like great for you.
Shit. I can't think of one that's because now I got like Spring Breakers and Sucker
Go on
Punch
guilty
in my
pleasures.
head.
What's your
Oh,
biggest
yeah.
guilty pleasure?
Okay. All right. It's kind of out of line with those two, but it's just the first thing that come to my head. And I'm not guilty. I'm unashamed to say I love the first two Michael Bay Transformers movies. So
Hell yeah.
So I'm down.
That's not a controversial opinion. They're funny. You can watch them as comedy movies.
In the movie world, that is definitely a controversial take. But I'm trying to think of something. Oh, what is it? It's on the tip of my brain. Okay. So Spring Breakers is Jack's, Sucker Punch is Tom's, and mine will be what's it
Michael
called?
Bay's Transformers.
No. It's a found footage film that has to do with time travel.
Oh,
It's
Primer.
it's
Primer,
the
yeah.
something project.
Oh,
Why can't I remember it? It's like the damn it. Why can't I remember?
Project Almanac.
Project Almanac, yeah. I enjoy that movie.
I
Is
haven't
that
heard of
newer?
it. It says it's from
thriller.
2015 when I looked it up.
Oh, dude, I remember the trailer.
No, fuck that. We're not doing that shit. Shut up, Josh. That's not what we're doing. Here's a perfect movie that kind of aligns. It'll be the middle ground between Spring Breakers and Sucker Punch. Underrated movie that I thoroughly enjoy is Upgrade.
Oh,
See
dude.
Upgrade?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's a niche one.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
do
fucking
Upgrade.
down. I'm down.
Okay.
We'll do
Okay.
Spring Breakers first, then Upgrade, and then we'll do Sucker Punch last. And
Let's
that
do it.
way we know the next 3 films we're gonna talk about. Dude, Upgrade was so cool. I remember my friend was telling me about that movie, and I was like, nah, this looks whack. I don't want to watch this. And he forced me to watch it with him, and I was like, oh my God, this was cool.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
It was a good movie.
My brother was like too young. Like I wasn't old enough to buy him a rated R ticket, and he was too young to go to a rated R movie. So we went to the theater to see that, and they wouldn't let us in. So we bought a ticket to like Power Rangers instead, and then snuck in. And
Hell yeah.
and they found us, like they caught us, and they kicked us out. And so like we had to like wait till later to watch the movie. We just like went to like till it came out on DVD.
Dang.
Yeah.
No, but
But-
that's cool. I'm excited. That's going to be 3 good videos.
That's okay. So
Yeah.
I got to remember Spring Breakers, Upgrade, Sucker Punch. I got to rewatch all of the
Yeah.
well, watch.
You got to watch, but you
The
got to
extended
watch
cut.
the extended cut. Don't watch the PG-13 R version. That's what you need to
Okay.
watch.
I'll check it out. All right, guys. That's a wrap for Real Talk. We will catch you guys next week.